Recently, I played through Battlefield Hardline with Quinn, Mistah Sky, and Minty, and these are our real thoughts after finishing the game. Okay, so Battlefield Hardline, probably the worst game I've played in the last 5 years.
That's a good way to summarize it.
It shouldn't have ever existed.
This game is terrible.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's got the base of Battlefield, so the gunplay is not inherently bad, but the AI you shoot are dumb as bricks. The easiest difficulty in this game is so easy that I can sit in front of a horde of enemies and just get shot for like a full 30 seconds and not die. Like, not even Battlefield 3 and 4 were that easy on easy. You would still get punished for acting stupid, but this game just lets you. And then its stealth system, if you can even call it that, is fucking garbage. It's so basic that it's a joke, and usually just evolves into an enemy spotting me while I'm trying to take someone down anyways, that just goes into me hitting them with my taser. The plot is completely asinine. The plot is terrible. It's like NCIS, but if it was directed by Michael Bay. The game looks terrible. Like, this came out after Battlefield 4, but it looks so much worse. It's ridiculous how much worse this looks, because it's the same engine. It's still Frostbite. I don't know what happened to it. The one thing I enjoyed about this game was its little episodes thing, because I think that's kind of a neat idea that if a better game were to do it, would be a lot of fun. But this game has no soul, and this game was thrown together, and it's very clearly thrown together. The most fun I had in this game was that one QuickTime event where I was just able to shoot the Beretta over and over and over and over.
So you know how we were
so
really
funny.
confused about why everything exploded?
Yeah, it hit a propane tank in the background or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bullet goes through his head.
I
into
was
the
talking
propane
about
tank.
that earlier, yeah.
Even though the gun is not pointed at the propane tank.
No, but that's
Yeah, we
what
figured out
happened.
that gun had to seriously curve while flying if it wanted to hit that fucking tank.
Yeah, the bullet was fucking... It
Oh.
was a sentient bullet.
And then the plot ends pretty unceremoniously, and I would say it's not satisfying. It's like, oh, we beat the bad guy and become the bad guy now because it's lots of money. It's like, really? That's the takeaway from this?
I mean, then again, you don't necessarily know if he becomes the bad guy or not, because it's just him looking at all the money and shit. He could have easily... Granted, I know it's like him saying, like, well, you're just like me, you're more criminal than cop, blah, blah, blah. It's like, we don't necessarily know, because it just ends.
Also, this game has no FOV slider. It is so telescoped in that it was completely unplayable, so I got a mod that I had to search for like crazy. With Battlefield 4, I used a thing called Flawless Widescreen, I think, which had a tool in it to change the FOV. And so with my Battlefield 4 video, you can see there's some things broken, especially with the hands, because they're not meant to be at that FOV. But with this game, I wasn't able to do that. I had to look up the Battlefield Hardline cinematic tools, which haven't been updated since this game came out, which were buried on a site that was archived. But I found them and I used them. It completely crashes the game every other mission when the game doesn't automatically crash itself. This game is a pain in the ass to start up. Number one, I have to launch it with Origin. I can't use EA Desktop, which they made me download for other reasons. So I had to re-download Origin. And then when I launch it from Origin, it takes me to the Battlelog website, which will load infinitely on Chrome unless you refresh it. And then I have to click the Start Campaign button, which will then load. And if I miss the icon popping up on my taskbar, the game will not start. So I have to sit and watch like a hawk for this little fucking icon to pop up on my taskbar to then click. The whole time the game is open, it doesn't detect itself as open on my taskbar, and OBS couldn't see it either. So I wasn't able to use the game capture for OBS, I had to use display capture. So it's fucking awful. Everything about this game sucks. Anything else?
Well, I
Um,
was just gonna say, is this the fact of back when I played this game back in 2015, it was on console, so obviously I didn't have to deal with any of the battle log or origin bullshit, just as far as launching the game. But yes, everything else, just obviously hot dumpster fire. Just like you said, slapped together. Obviously, it looks awful. Like everything is just bad. Plot is just non-existent. Like story, like it's non-existent. Yeah, completely forgettable
Also-
characters, all that shit.
really, really weird. Like, not even to get into it because I don't have the energy or brain space. But really weird politics. Really weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's definitely like very, very conservative politics about cops.
Yeah, like him talking about his dad, and he's like, I became a cop, so people don't like get tortured anymore under Cuban socialism. And the bit closer to the beginning where they're complaining, they're like, oh, the judge won't let us do no knock raids anymore. How dare he? And you're supposed to like agree with them.
And there was the whole car chase at the beginning was Nick and Stoddard completely ignoring protocol by going after this guy when like and they specifically call it out. They're like, "Hey, you know all that protocol that we're taught about high-speed chases? Throw it at the window, just go after him." It's like the protocols are there for a reason. And we caused a ton of collateral damage and it spirals from there. It just gets worse and worse.
yeah, that's how you definitely know that any basis of reality was never considered, like, period. And I know it's a video game, but still.
It's this whole game is ridiculous and not in a good way. It's barely in an enjoyable way. Like this is not one of those games I would consider to be so bad it's good. This was sections that were hilarious because of how bad they were, but the entire game as a whole I would never want to play this again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The only reason I played this game was the multiplayer back then, and that was about it. Even then, the multiplayer wasn't great. Like,
Yeah, and this game has not aged well and is not going to be remembered in the future. They'll know it as that cop Battlefield and nothing else because there's nothing else about this game that's memorable. It's the cop Battlefield game. That's it. I think that's pretty much all I have to say about the game. You want to say anything, Sky?
I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head.
All right, then we'll stop the real thoughts there at less than 10 minutes. The shortest fucking real thoughts that I've ever done because this game doesn't deserve my time.
It really does.
absolutely not. Yeah.
Special thanks to my patrons Zaniri, Game Wilder, and Lord Dingro, who helped make this video possible. If you want to support the channel, you'll get your own custom avatar that'll go at the end of the videos you help support that month.